from Kwara State. While we anticipate others joining us on Zoom to discuss today's episode of COPDEM People's Parliament, all our viewers out there to follow us as we get to introduce the topic of the day. Mr. John Agbonifo, are you available? Kindly read out the topics.
Yes, Mr. Christian. Good evening, everyone. Today we'll be addressing 4 trending stories within the political space of the country. Number 1, Nigeria takes the lead in global ranking of malnourished children. That is accredited to UNICEF. Number 2, Boko Haram, banditry, and Fulani terrorism are all created and sponsored by rich Islamic extremists in northern Nigeria to check the spread of Christianity in the north. That is according to Shihuski VRS. Then number 3, 2027 electoral reform and real-time transmission of results can avert looming anarchy and voter apathy. Then number 4, lastly, truth doesn't demarcate a country. That is accredited to Mr. Peter Obi. So those are the 4 topics that we'll be looking at this evening. Back to you, due process.
Thank you, Mr. John, for giving us that highlight of today's discourse on the COPDEM People's Parliament. And having introduced the topic, I would like to give a brief background on some of the topics, like the one credited to Mr. Peter Obi, where the truth does not demarcate a country. Indeed, truth does not demarcate a country. It rather boosts the confidence of strangers, that is to say investors, and the global community to have trust in the country for acknowledging their area of weakness, and that shows their intention to improve upon it. But when you are hiding sickness, you don't know where solution might come from. The ruling party prefers that Mr. Peter Obi sing praises of the government across, to the world, whereas Nigerians are starving, Nigerians are dying of insecurity, Nigerians are being killed on a daily basis as a result of target terrorism and genocide across the country, particularly the Middle Belt region. And the first topic, which has to do with Mr. John Agbonifo, can you remind us on the first topic?
Yes, the first topic is Nigeria takes the lead in global ranking of malnourished children, as credited to UNICEF.
Yes, this particular headline has been attracting traction of reaction across the social media. And during the COPDEM Street Parliament today, I was able to recoup some feedback. Nigerians are really not smiling at the moment. They will complain that, yes, as a matter of fact, there is hunger in the land due to food shortage. And in that situation, the children are also a victim of the situation. And they are particularly sad that Nigeria is not sliding into chaos of food. It's a country that previously produced food in large quantity is now scrambling for food as a result of Fulani atrocities in communities where agriculture has been their dominant occupation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is COPDEM People's Parliament. We thank you for making our time to be part of today's episode of COPDEM People's Parliament. So please, Mr. John Agbonifo or Mr. Jobson from Kwara State, we do want to have their contribution on this 4 subject matter. Let's see how it goes.
Yes, Mr. Due Process, thank you very much. You know, like you did, I also want to start from number 4. Do you know why I want to start from number 4? Because number 4 seems to has a way of it is kind of intertwines into the other 3 topics, and I will tell you how. You see, truth doesn't demarcate a country. That is a statement of fact. You see, it's actually beyond just a country. It's like when it's a situation where you and I are not truthful to ourselves. You know, there's no way we can be of help or of assistance to each other when we are not straightforward with ourselves. So it's the same thing. And if you look at the economy and all the issues surrounding the administration, the present administration, you see a lot of trying to manage the people. You know, not letting them know what exactly the problem is. For instance, I'll set an example. In the past few days, there have been a lot of mails on X that the Tinubu-led federal government has paid all the loans that was owing to IMF. You know, that news is currently on X and other social media platforms. But the truth is, I saw one analysis somewhere that said that information was not correct. You know, that what you actually have is that loan to IMF up to, I think, 2025 or so has been paid. I don't know, up to a particular year has been paid. Then we still have other loans up to 2029 that has been spread out. But the narrative is not exactly in that direction from the platform of the federal government. You see, so these are two different narratives that don't say the same thing. Then again, you will recall that at a point we were being made to understand that the refineries have been repaired and they are functional. And my brother, I don't think that information is 100% correct, because if the refineries are functional and we're having to refine fuel locally in the country, coupled with the support from this man's refinery, what's his name now? Dangote's refinery. I'm sure you and I know that the cost of fuel should have gone much more below what we have today. And that also applies to banditry in the northern part of the country. The federal government will tell you they are making progress and that they are taking care of banditry. But look at what we have here in number 2. You know, the terrorism is increasing by the day, but the information we get from the federal government is a contradiction of what is actually playing. So now, are you saying that if you now begin to unveil the situation as it is that demarketing the country? That is actually giving us the window to actually brainstorm and find actual solutions to this problem, instead of window dressing them and pretending that all is well, whereas all is not well. Look at the number 1 situation. Now they tell you they have so many support programs for the citizens. GDP is improving, and here UNICEF is saying Nigeria has the most malnourished children, and this is a world report. You know what that means? All of the continents in the world, Nigeria has the most number of malnourished children, and that is very embarrassing compared to the reports we get from within the country, you know, from the government. So it is high time we actually put our problems down, lay it bare the way it is, so that we can actually find solutions to these problems in the interest of the people, you know, because deceiving the people is another way of actually saying we don't care about you, as far as I'm concerned, because it's like relating with your family. If you keep lying to your wife, lying to your children, it's another way of saying you don't care about them now. But if you appreciate the problem and you put it down and you discuss it as a family, you will see suggestions from the children that could even help the situation. You will see suggestions from the wife that could help the situation. So it's almost the same thing on a larger scale. So I think it is high time we understand that the more we tell ourselves the truth, the better for us as a people, the better for us as a country. Thank you very much, Mr. Due Process.
Thank you, Mr. John Agbonifa. As usual, you were so very, very apt, very straight to the point, and we're able to do justice to some of the headlines. As a matter of fact, truth heals. When a leader acknowledges that he has erred and he is seeking the citizens' forgiveness, then there will be healing. But then we have people in power who came to power by propaganda, and they have continued to rule the country by propaganda. As a matter of fact, it's to us. The same APC government under Buhari lied that Nigeria Air has come to stay. Today, where is the Nigeria Air? The same Buhari government lied to Nigeria about discovering oil in the north. Where is the oil today? You know, these are propaganda that they have used as a decoy to empty Nigeria's resources. It's very painful and it's very condemnable. It's a shame on the APC government for their unrepentant lying machine. They refuse to deviate or to avoid telling lies to Nigerians. They've seen it as the only roadmap to remain in power. And it's very unfortunate. And Nigerians are wiser because the feelers are getting from the street shows that Nigerians are aware of all their antics, and the program is really giving them the impetus to be able to speak out. It's giving them the voice to be able to air out their pain. You know, it's very bad. I had a situation where one of the interviewed person on the street, she was like, she's CS patient, sickle cell, and she's managing it over the years. The government has not done anything for her. She's even a student. She carry her course herself. She paid her school fees, pay her drugs. That was the use of government, you know. So many angles that she was furious that the same government we used 21 billion to renovate this VP's residence, and also use 10 billion for installation of power, whereas for whereas the country's healthcare is nothing to write home about. The price of drugs have gone up, and citizens are really dying. One of the old women says citizens are dying, people are dying silently in the hospital because there is no money to buy drugs. That's the crossroad where we find ourselves. The country is burning down, and we have to continue to speak out so that the world will be aware of the predicament Nigerians are going through. Mr. Jobson, are you there, please? Mr. Jobson, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
All right, hit the topic you want to run with.
Good evening, our dear listeners all over the world.
Yes, good evening.
Welcome you especially to COPDEM People Parliament this evening once again.
Thank you.
Well, this topic touches me, and it really touches me. You know, when you have what it takes in your hand and your children are suffering it, it's so pathetic. I'm taking from the first topic. Why should Nigeria be the highest malnourished in the world? Why should, if you see the layman definition of, let me just simply put it, of malnourished is where there is hunger, where there is no different food to eat. That is what we call malnourished. In a country like Nigeria, we have good fertile land. Go to Benue, go to Kogi, go to Nasarawa, go to Niger State, and see the land we have there. Just because our government has failed us, our children are now being malnourished. Is this not a problem to Nigeria? Children who does not even know what is happening are now dying of malnourished just because our government failed to protect the land for people to cultivate different fruits to come out for these children to eat. It's very, very disheartening. And I see no reason why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot resign from that office if this is coming out from UNICEF and the world is seeing it. A country where we have enough food to produce, where we can produce enough food, somebody is now coming out to tell us, showing us that, see what is happening in your country now. And they are not shamed. They are not even shameful of the position they are. They are sitting down there, being there every day. Children are dying in the hospital. You can go to hospital and see the rate at which children are dying nowadays. It's not because of, if UNICEF give this record, they are not lying. It's a fact about Nigeria. And this should not happen in Nigeria. I can say it categorically, we have what it takes to stop this nonsense that is happening in Nigeria today. But why should our leader fold arms and allow minorities to kill our young, innocent ones? These are the people we call the leaders of tomorrow. The futures of Nigeria are dying day in, day out. It saddens my heart. And I believe this can be stopped come 2027. Tinubu should be ashamed and leave the office. Look, like Mr. Agbonifo was saying about Nigerian loans, that somebody said they have been, it's a fat lie. And the story was emanated from Reno Omokiri. I'm calling it categorically now. These are pure lies from the pit of hell. There is no way Nigeria has cleared their debts. Those debts are still there. If I challenge Reno this afternoon on his S handle, I said, come out with a proof of what you are saying. If you know exactly that Nigeria loan has been cleared by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, come out and show the proof of what you are saying. We don't believe in what you are saying. We only believe in the data analysis of what you are saying. Come out and show us the database of where our loan is being cleared today in IMF. He was silent up to now. I was waiting for him to reply. No way, because he doesn't have the proof. And these are fact lies that they are giving people, misleading people about what President Bola Tinubu is doing. And these are the same people that will go on air and said Peter Obi is lying. Truth never devalues a nation. Truth can never devalue a nation. It only improves a nation. If your leaders are doing what is not good and somebody is saying it, why should you target it as the value? And that is the problem we have in this country. We believe if our leaders are doing anything, nobody should speak bad against. It's not even from the media outlet. Even our religions are teaching it that whatsoever your leaders are doing, like other religions, I will not mention names, they do tell their people, never you condemn your leaders. And that is the problem we are facing in this country. Telling your country the truth of what is happening, projecting it to the world so that the world will see if they can help you. It's just like I have a problem in my house and I keep the problem under my bed. I said I will not say it out so that people will not know I'm having such problem. Who is it affecting? Is it not me? It's actually affecting me. No matter what I say tomorrow, it's the effect will still come out. And that is why we keep on telling people to come out and speak the truth. Don't keep quiet. If you keep quiet, the country will still keep on degrading, continue being spoiling for us, and all of us will keep on shouting until Jesus Christ will come. I don't believe this. And I must tell you categorically this evening, we need to stop all these lies that is coming out. Whatsoever they are emanating it from, wherever they are emanating it from, we need to start stopping them so that they will not project this thing to Nigerians who are not good in research making. I believe we can stop them. Their voice needs to be stopped so that our voice can be heard clearly. And the problem of Nigeria, we need to be outlining it out for people to see, the world to see, like just the way PO is doing now. And I commend him for doing such, because if such leader can come out, if others opposition parties and their leaders can still come out and start speaking against the bad governance of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, I think Nigeria would be a better place for us. The agenda of Islamizing Nigeria cannot work. Boko Haram or no Boko Haram, I believe one day this madness will stop, because it's an agenda to take over. It's not only in northern part of this country, it's all over the federation. Because when you see a Fulani man, he will never rent a house close to people. He will go into far of the bush, build an hamlet, there, start developing themselves, calling themselves to that place. What do you think they are planning? What is their vision? See, I want to tell us this evening categorically, there is an agenda to take over Nigeria by Fulanis. I won't say more than this, but I'm very sure there is an agenda for Fulanis to take over Nigeria, because if you go every of the 36 states in Nigeria today, Fulani are there. And if you touch them anywhere they are, the government will rise against you. And that is why I'm now wondering, why is it that such thing allowed in this country, where in my own village, Fulani will come there, have his own king, have his own council member, and they'll be living there, cannot go to North if there is no agenda. And there are people that are aligning with this agenda from each of these various states, which they need to stop. We need to start calling them out, shouting for Nigeria to know that no, this agenda should not come to place, because it's very, very obvious. Look at the lives we are losing in Benue. If there is no agenda on it, the life we are losing in.
Mr. Joseph, I believe a lot of Nigerian tribes are beginning to wake up to realize that we should change, particularly the Hausa-speaking tribe. They are waking up that there is no more anything like Hausa Fulani. Rather, they prefer to be called Hausas. That's their language, that's their identity, and they cannot allow their identity to be eroded under the guise of Hausa Fulani. So, as time passes by, people are waking up, people are realizing that what happened previously was a foul play and should not stand. So, a lot of ethnic nationalities are waking up, particularly in the Middle Belt, that they can no more continue to play the art of slavery. And that's why the people of the Middle Belt have consistently aligned with the vision of Mr. Peter Obi, notably on the grounds that a son of a nobody can become somebody. Leadership should not be by virtue of where you come from. Leadership should be by virtue of the 5 C's: credibility, accountability, compassion, character, competency. These are the things that should come when somebody is aspiring to become a leader. Not issue of which tribe. Nobody buys bread cheaper by virtue of the tribe they are, or by virtue of their religion. All those things never count at the filling station, neither in the markets. So awareness is beginning to rise. People are becoming conscientized that they need to focus on new modalities towards electing our leaders. As a matter of fact, the woeful performance of Tinubu has exposed a lot of people into having a rethink that cannot continue the same way and expect a different result. That being said, while you round up your thought, also consider to have a discussion on number 3 item. We have not dealt much with that topic. Mr. Jason Emmanuel, you are welcome from Nasarawa State. Please, Mr. Joseph, you can go on. Joseph, are you there? That is not. Yes, Mr. Emmanuel, you are welcome to COPDEM People's Parliament. Please, your voice is cracking. Your voice is cracking. Are you using earpiece or mouthpiece? Are you using mouthpiece, please? We cannot hear you, please. If you are using mouthpiece, you will rather remove it so we can have a good reception. Right? We can't hear you. Your voice is so is cracking heavily. Mr. Patrick John Kibo, you're welcome to COPDEM People's Parliament. Would you want to introduce yourself? Let's get to know where you're joining us from and have a say on the topic of the day. Nigeria has been number one among countries where the children are malnourished. As a matter of fact, a country like Somalia, Pakistan, and all those war-ridden countries were leading the table previously, but as at today, Nigeria has been ranked number one by UNICEF. Are you surprised? What's your say? Mr. Patrick, are you there? Or you just want to listen so that we can fire on? Mr. John, can you remind us on the item number 3?
Yeah, number 3 is talking about 2027. Can you hear me? Confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, number 3 is about 2027 electoral reform on real-time transmission of results. Can avert looming anarchy and voter apathy.
Yes, obviously, given the experience of 2023 and the suspicion surrounding INEC, as a matter of fact, should INEC go into any election today, Nigerians will see them not as INEC, rather Nigerians will view them as APC. So there will be a lot of suspicion surrounding INEC. And in any election where the people are suspicious, any little thing there will be anarchy. So in order to avert anarchy, the best solution that is working. Mr. Manuel, please mute. Your voice is cracking and we cannot take it. Thank you. The only way a country can manage and prevent anarchy at this point, we have just 2 years to the election, is to have a holistic electoral reform. Now, when I'm talking about electoral reform, what are the major items that we are looking up to? To make it mandatory that INEC transmits results directly from the polling unit using the BVAS, using the IRO, using BVAS to validate voters, and using the IRO to upload results directly from the polling unit. The idea of taking any result sheet to collation center at the LGA before talking about collation center at the states and for forwarding to national, all those analog process will not hold water come 2027. Nigerians are hungry, and to deal with a hungry person, psychologically, an hungry man is an angry man. Every hungry Nigerians on the street today are hungry. When you interact with Nigerians, you know the difficulty Nigerians are facing. And going into election with empty stomach, you know what that means. As a matter of fact, to avert anarchy come 2027, there must be electoral reform. And very urgently, the National Assembly must wake up from their slumber and ensure that there is a holistic electoral reform, not just uploading of results from the polling units. It doesn't end at what? Using BVAS to validate voters. It goes as far as using a computerized widescreen projection at each collation center at the states and the national headquarters of INEC. For what? Uploading of results, transmission of results in real time. Nigerians should be seeing those results trickling in their figures, not waiting for INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu to hold a sheet of paper and be reading out. Because Nigerians cannot confirm what he is reading out from those sheets of paper. So it has become necessary, it has become unavoidable that the National Assembly must do the will of the people. The people are demanding for electoral reform. And for how long will the National Assembly pretend to be sleeping? The man pretends to be sleeping, it's very difficult to wake up. On this note, we are demanding that the National Assembly must, as a matter of urgency, suspend all legislative activities and concentrate on electoral reform, call for public hearing, and commence the process of electoral reform so that we can have a roadmap into 2027. Although there is a saying that we are preparing. It's either we are preparing to pass or we are preparing to fail. That's the irony of life. So the National Assembly must vindicate themselves if they must earn any form of respect from Nigeria. Because as a matter of fact, so far in the assessment of, if I'm to give assessment of the National Assembly, the current National Assembly, there will be nothing short of rubber stamp. But if they can be able to come up with electoral reform that suits the desire and the demands of Nigerians, then their sins may be forgiven. On this note, I don't know who wants to have more insights into the electoral reform, into the Nigerian being ranked #1 as world most malnourished children. In the context of that rating, it's not necessarily hunger. The rating shows that the moment a child does not have access to the necessary food ingredients that are needed for healthy development of all the body organs, then that child is malnourished. You and I know that the situation in the country now is beyond malnourishment. Nigerians are hungry, have no access to food. As a matter of fact, many families tonight are going to bed hungry without the hope of ordinary 1 cup of garri. Is obvious reality across Nigeria. And that shows how the government of the day have failed Nigerians and have encountered Nigerian problem.
I can't hear due process any longer. Is it just me?
Mr. Agbonifo, I think you should take over. Network has taken him out.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm that. That's fine. Yes. I think, like you said, this #3, this electoral reform is something that we can really not sweep under the carpet. In short, it cannot be overemphasized as far as our democracy is concerned. You see, you will recall that the reason why we had so many Nigerians very enthusiastic about the 2023 elections were the commitments and assurance and reassurances and the introduction of technology, in the process of conducting the election that was introduced by INEC. So it attracted a lot of confidence for people to not only participate in the election, but also to be involved. I'm very much aware about a lot of Nigerians that traveled down from diaspora, paid their tickets just to come and witness the election and to be part of the election. And that is because of all of that confirmation and assurance that they were going to have a real process, So, but if we have a situation where after what we have experienced in 2023, even with all of the assurances that we got from INEC, if we had that kind of situation in 2023, then you can imagine what it would be like in 2027, even in a situation where INEC is saying that because they are already insinuating that because of non-availability of funds, they might not be able to transmit results online real time. So you can imagine the level of discouragement and damage that will be done to the electorate. As a matter of fact, you will have less than 5% of registered voters coming out for that election because it will to be considered ab initio as a complete waste of time. And nobody will want to be part of that kind of process where you would have gone out, stayed out all day in the sun and in the rain, in a process to determine a leader for your country, only for the regulatory body to give you whoever they desire to give to you, and not the choice that have been made by the people. So with that, you cannot rule out having apathy in 2027 in the general elections, except like Akon has said, the National Assembly takes this electoral reform as a priority right now, even while it still have the time, while we are still early in the day, while it's still early in the days. Take it as a priority and ensure that this is quickly addressed and restore that confidence to Nigeria that yes, your vote will count come 2027. That's the only way we are going to avoid this voters apathy come 2027, as far as I am concerned. Those are my personal views, though. So I don't know if any of us here present will also want to add to this, because it's quite a very important aspect of our democracy at this point in time, especially where we are still struggling to restore confidence in the electorate. Mr. Job, what was your thought on this, please?
Well, I think you have said it all. And like you rightly said, if I may not deceive Nigerians today, I think our electoral reform needs to be put in place. Like, it's not going to be possible if INEC fail to do the needful come 2027 by telling us they cannot afford to transmit electronic results. I see no reason why INEC will even say such, and it's not going to happen, because it's rather we leave the election for President Ahmed Bola Tinubu alone for him to rule Nigeria, or INEC do the needful for us. It's just that this country is somehow so bad that we don't take things serious if they came out to say something of such. And I believe we can handle the situation at early stage like this, which we need to come out and start kicking against such method, because it's a method of criminality, a method that is going to degrade Nigeria electoral system, a method that is not going to work for Nigeria democracy, as far as I'm concerned. And I believe we can stop such movements that Mr. Yakub is trying to put in place, because come 2027, they are looking for an alternative way to bring Tinubu into power by all means again, and which they know if they go electronically, Nigeria will go against President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And so therefore, they are looking for an alternative way, just the way they still want to do the same thing come 2027. And we will out, tell Nigerians to come out in mass and go against INEC if they fail to do the needful. I believe that will be the only reason. If it will even take protest to protest against INEC, we will do it so that I come 2027. That
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Job. That discussion is already on the front burner. I'm sure as we get closer to 2027, a lot of goodwill individuals, a lot of good-spirited Nigerians who want to see a reform country, who want to see a reform system, will also be adding their voices to this, and we'll see how we can make this work and have a perfect electoral process come 2027. It is our desire that our democracy strive and get strengthened, grow from strength to strength, so that it will be possible for the citizens to determine those that will govern them as we go along. I think we have come to the end. We have come to the end of the program today. It has been a wonderful discussion section.
Yes. What a wonderful discussion we have today.
Yes, we want to thank all participants. I also thank viewers out there for joining us and for their time with us tonight. So until same time, Monday. Today's Thursday. This is the last edition for the week. Until same time, Monday next week. From me here is good night. Thank you all.
Good night, and don't forget to join on our Twitter space tomorrow. The S handle.
Yes, our Twitter space tomorrow will be 8 p.m. So please kindly join us on our Twitter space tomorrow as we'll be discussing the alternative for Nigeria, especially on the platform of the ADC. Thank you, Mr. Joe, for that reminder. So, gentlemen,
thank you so much.
Twitter space tomorrow. Thank you. Good night and have a wonderful weekend.